obviously the first question is how did Tom and Mark coordinate on the hats? And then, obviously the next comment is best dress. Amy Ryan. Stephen, what was it about this story that drew you to it?
Well, I was familiar with about a third of the story because of the Francis Powers publicity when he was shot down. And everybody my age, I was in high school, we were all teenagers, and we knew what that was all about. We were also very familiar with the Cold War because we always thought the Russians were going to bomb us. We were growing up with those, those 16mm movies they showed in the classroom called Duck and Cover. And you'd be watching television and suddenly you get the CD Civil Defense logo would interrupt the set and they do a test. So it was a clear and present danger. So that's what I was familiar with, but I had no idea who Tom represented playing Jonathan. I didn't know about Rudolph Abel, and I didn't know about Frederick Pryor. This is all from Matt Sharman, who found these stories and brought them to my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Matt's out there somewhere.
He deserves a round of applause. The thing that moves me so much about this story is that it's a man who's just doing what he believes is right and not wanting to blow his horn for it, take credit for it. And it's a beautiful job that you did, Tom. It's also the great story of a friendship that develops between the two of you, so I'm wondering about if you and Mark could talk about your approach to characters and to that specific aspect of the story.
We're actors and really, we play what's written on the page. That being said, before we started, I cold called Mark up out of the blue and said, we're both in town, we have a huge fucking scene to shoot on Tuesday. Why don't we go over it a little bit before we show up on the set? So we spent a couple hours and we just ran all of our scenes again and again and again, and we got to know each other and we got past that kind of natural discomfort that you can have, because it would be really rough to have to shoot the load that we had to shoot and honestly have only met for the first time on that day. We just got past any of the self-consciousness. We'd already had wonderful conversations about the work that I'd seen Mark do and vice versa. But we also began to experiment with what that relationship was. That starts off totally official, total legalese, and did in fact genuinely evolve into a lot of personal affection between these two men.
So when did you both start wearing the same hat?
I believe my hat is a fedora, and his is a pork pie. I think it's very... I'll take it off, but this is a scary thing to have to look at. I don't want to scare the children, so I'll keep it on.
Questions? Yes. Who was the portrait artist in the film?
You mean who actually did the paintings? It's a very good question, and I had the answer 9 months ago.
Stephen, just point to somebody in the house and say, there's art. Just do that, give somebody credit for it.
I wonder if the two characters ever spoke to each other in the future after the film ended.
Oh, did Abel and Donovan speak to each other after?
You got a story about that, do you not?
No, they didn't. There was an attempt because I was with the family, and the family was telling me, the kids were telling me that Jim Donovan wanted to see Abel again, but wasn't able to make that happen. He really wanted to see him again. And isn't that correct? And it never quite came together. That's why, yes, exactly. Do you want to just stand up for a second and explain that? That's really interesting.
Shout loud.
Yeah.
1965. We went through London and then right into Russia, right into Moscow. And it was the height of the Cold War. Thank God we had our gin rummy cards with us. And we would wait it out. We were there more than a week in a wonderful hotel, but Dad explained to me we're all being bugged. So I just wanted you aware of this, Marianne, you know, so be careful of what you say. And we were waiting for the phone call. And it was about a week to 10 days, and then Dad said to me, I've got to do something today. I've got to do something. So I think the guide will say, take you to Lennon's tomb. If you don't mind, you'll spend the day with Lennon. And I said, oh, that's great, Dad, that's great. And he left, and when he got back, I looked at him, and he looked at me, and that was it. In other words, that's who he was. What you captured it so well on the screen. He was a man of very few words. He saw the whole picture, and he kept his quiet. And we were concerned about people listening in as well. So
yes, I think this is the sequel. It will be called Russian Hotel of Spies. This is a fabulous story.
Thank you very much for that.